Hello. Have you ever felt your hips tighten unexpectedly when you rise from bed? Or perhaps you've noticed that simple motions, stepping into the car, getting out of your favorite recliner, even walking across the living room have become strangely uncomfortable. If so, you are not alone. Millions of Americans over the age of 55 experience unexplained hip weakness each year, and most have no idea that a single item in their diet could be contributing to it, silently, gradually and dangerously. What if the trouble isn't in your age, but in your kitchen? Research conducted by the National Institutes of Health shows that by the time we reach 60, over 25% of muscle loss is concentrated in the lower body, specifically around the hips, thighs, and glutes. This isn't just about stiffness or soreness. We're talking about structural decline that affects your balance, posture, mobility, and ultimately your independence. Now here's the shocking part. In many cases, the culprit is not what you are missing, but what you are consuming. Yes, you heard that right. There is a food, marketed as healthy, even recommended by some wellness blogs, that might actually be sabotaging your hip muscles without your knowledge. It is consumed frequently by seniors for its perceived benefits. Yet studies now reveal it may accelerate muscle atrophy, joint inflammation, and even worsen sarcopenia, the age-related loss of skeletal muscle mass. What's more terrifying? This process is silent. There is no pain at first, no bruising, no swelling, just a gradual, almost imperceptible erosion of strength. Until one day you struggle to stand, or worse, suffer a fall that could have been avoided. And while medications and aging are often blamed, the truth might be found in the foods we trust the most. According to Harvard Medical School, more than 1/3 of adults over 65 suffer from weakened hip and leg muscles. Yet few ever receive a diagnosis beyond normal aging. But recent clinical studies point to one surprising dietary pattern that increases inflammation in the pelvic girdle area and reduces protein absorption critical for muscle regeneration. So what exactly is happening in the body? And which foods are to blame? When certain foods, particularly those high in fructose, omega-6 fatty acids, or artificial preservatives, are consumed regularly, they can trigger a biological cascade in aging bodies. This cascade begins with increased oxidative stress, continues with localized inflammation around the hip joints, and ultimately ends in the breakdown of critical muscle fibers. These muscle fibers are essential for stabilizing the hips during walking, bending or climbing stairs. Imagine the hip joint as a finely tuned hinge on a heavy door. Without proper lubrication and strong surrounding muscles, the hinge grinds down. Over time, the door sticks. Eventually, it won't open at all. Now imagine that's your body. We're not here to scare you, we're here to inform and empower. Because the encouraging news is that this decline can be stopped. It can even be reversed. All it takes is the right knowledge, the right foods, and the right timing. And it starts today. In the upcoming sections, we'll explore the critical nutrients that support hip strength, the common habits that may be accelerating your discomfort, and the most effective changes you can make, starting right at your next meal. But first, I have a question for you. Have you noticed weakness, discomfort, or stiffness in your hips recently? If so, type yes in the comments. If not, type no. Let's talk about it, because awareness is the first step to taking back your strength. And don't forget to follow this channel, hit that notification bell, and stay tuned for part 2, where we uncover the specific nutrients that keep your hip muscles strong, flexible, and pain-free. Imagine your hip muscles as the foundation of your daily movement. Every time you sit, stand, bend, or walk, these deep muscles activate, stabilizing your pelvis, balancing your posture, and supporting your spine. But with age, their strength and flexibility begin to fade. What most seniors don't realize is that this isn't just due to aging. It's often a signal that your body is crying out for 3 essential nutrients. Nutrients that have quietly disappeared from modern diets. 1. The first offender, magnesium, the forgotten mineral for muscle function. Magnesium plays a critical role in muscle contraction and relaxation. It regulates calcium flow in and out of muscle cells, keeping fibers from stiffening or spasming. According to the National Institutes of Health, nearly 68% of adults over 65 are magnesium deficient. When this mineral runs low, the result is often tightness in the hip flexors, cramping in the thighs, or a constant dull ache that worsens at night. These symptoms are often dismissed as arthritis or just getting older, but in reality, your muscles are screaming for magnesium. Good sources include pumpkin seeds, spinach, and avocado. But here's the catch. Medications like diuretics, proton pump inhibitors, or even antibiotics, commonly used by seniors, can impair magnesium absorption. That means even if you're eating well, your body might not be absorbing what it needs. 2. The structural builder. Protein, but not just any protein. Most seniors consume far less protein than required. And even when they do, the type of protein matters. Your hips contain slow twitch, muscle fibers that need a steady supply of essential amino acids to regenerate. Complete proteins, those that contain all 9 essential amino acids, are key. Think eggs, Greek yogurt, quinoa, or lean poultry. A landmark study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors consuming 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight daily experience significantly less muscle wasting than those on standard diets. What's often overlooked? The timing. Your body repairs muscle primarily during sleep, so consuming a slow-digesting protein, like Greek yogurt or cottage cheese, an hour before bed can dramatically support overnight muscle recovery in the hips and legs. 3. The inflammation fighter, omega-3. Fatty acids, the hip joint's best friend. Inflammation is the hidden villain behind muscle degradation. When persistent, it accelerates the breakdown of both muscle and connective tissues around the hips. Omega-3s, especially EPA and DHA, are natural inflammation fighters. Fatty fish like salmon and sardines are rich in these fatty acids. In a 2021 study by Tufts University, seniors who consumed omega-3s daily showed a 16% improvement in muscle function, particularly in the hip and thigh regions. Not a fan of fish? Consider fish oil supplements with doctor's approval, or plant-based sources like flax seeds and walnuts. Just 2 servings per week can significantly lower levels of C-reactive protein, a key marker of inflammation that affects hip mobility. The unsung hero, vitamin D, the silent stabilizer of hip muscles. Often associated with bone health, vitamin D also plays a crucial role in neuromuscular control. Without it, muscles, especially those in the pelvic region, lose their ability to contract efficiently. This leads to weakness, instability, and higher risk of falls. A meta-analysis from the Journal of Endocrinology and Metabolism showed that seniors with low vitamin D were 2.5 times more likely to suffer hip fractures. That's not just due to bone loss, it's because weak hip muscles fail to protect the joint during unexpected movements. Natural sources like sunlight, egg yolks, and fortified milk are excellent, but many seniors require supplements, especially in colder climates, or for those who spend most of their time indoors. Blood tests can confirm deficiency, and correction often leads to remarkable improvements in leg strength and coordination. 5. The bonus player, potassium, the muscle whisperer. You've probably heard potassium helps with cramps, but it does more than that. It helps regulate fluid balance and electrical impulses in muscle tissue, especially in large muscle groups like the hips and thighs. Low potassium leads to muscle fatigue, trembling, and imbalance. Bananas are the well-known go-to, but sweet potatoes, beets, and coconut water offer more potassium, with less sugar, ideal for seniors managing diabetes or insulin resistance. So what's the real problem? The modern American diet, convenient, processed, and repetitive, is starving our muscles of what they need to thrive. And for older adults, this starvation shows first in the hips. Why? Because these are the muscles that work hardest every time you rise from bed, stand from a chair, or climb a single step. When they're not fed right, they fail fast. But the beautiful truth? The body is remarkably resilient. Even after 60 or 70 years of wear and tear, hip muscles can rebuild. All they need is the right fuel. In the next section, we'll uncover the daily habits, often considered harmless or even healthy, that might be accelerating the breakdown of your hip muscles. Have you ever skipped breakfast? Sat for long hours without moving? These routines might be working against your strength. Stay tuned. But before we go, tell me in the comments, are you currently taking magnesium or omega-3s? Type yes if you are, not yet if you are not. Your answer might help someone else reading these same words. What if I told you that some of your most familiar routines, the ones you believe are keeping you healthy, may actually be draining strength from your hips? In fact, countless seniors unknowingly repeat certain daily habits that slowly rob their muscles of power, flexibility, and stability. These behaviors may feel harmless, even comforting, but science reveals they could be undermining the very muscles that help You stand tall and move with confidence. 1. Sitting for long periods. The hip muscle killer. Let's begin with one of the most overlooked yet devastating habits: prolonged sitting. Studies show that adults over 60 spend an average of 9.4 hours per day seated. That's nearly 2/3 of waking hours. And what happens to a muscle you never use? It atrophies. Your hip flexors, specifically the iliopsoas and gluteus medius, are designed for dynamic motion. But when you remain in a seated position for extended periods, these muscles shorten and stiffen. They lose their elasticity. Over time, this leads to a condition called adaptive shortening, making it difficult to fully extend your legs or rise without strain. According to a Mayo Clinic report, even walking for 30 minutes a day does not fully counteract the effects of long-term sitting. The damage occurs hour by hour, not just over the course of years. What to do? Set an alarm to stand and stretch every 30 to 45 minutes. Perform simple hip circles, leg swings, or just walk down the hall and back. Your muscles respond best to frequent, gentle activation. 2. Skipping breakfast or protein-rich meals, starving your muscles. You've probably heard the phrase, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But for older adults, this isn't just a saying, it's a necessity. Skipping meals, especially protein-rich ones, starves your body during the critical early hours when muscle synthesis is most active. Research from the Journal of Nutrition in Gerontology shows that seniors who consume a protein-rich breakfast retain up to 40% more lean muscle mass than those who rely on cereal, toast, or coffee alone. Your hip muscles, being large and complex, require steady nourishment. Without sufficient amino acids in the bloodstream throughout the day, your body begins to break down muscle tissue to meet energy demands. Solution? Start your day with a meal that includes 20-25 grams of protein, eggs, Greek yogurt, or a protein smoothie. With added collagen are excellent choices for seniors with smaller appetites. 3. Over-reliance on supportive furniture, weakening core and hip engagement. Do you use cushioned recliners, high-seated chairs, or powerlift seats? While these aids offer comfort, excessive reliance on them can accelerate muscle weakness, especially in the core and hips. Standing up from a firm, low chair naturally engages your glutes, quads, and hip flexors. But when furniture does the work for you, these muscles stay idle. Over weeks and months, strength declines. The same applies to walking with walkers, or canes before they are medically necessary. While these devices are critical for safety when needed, premature use conditions your hips to rely on external support instead of internal strength. Try this. Replace one seat in your home with a firmer option. Practice standing and sitting, slowly from it a few times, a day without using your hands. This simple motion can retrain your hips to bear your full weight. 4. Sleeping in the fetal position, compressing the hips. It may feel cozy, but curling up in a tight fetal position during sleep compresses the hip joints and strains the surrounding muscles. Over time, this habit can lead to morning stiffness, uneven pelvic alignment, and restricted mobility. Sleep experts recommend maintaining a neutral spine position, sleeping on your back with a small pillow under your knees or on your side with a pillow between. Your legs keeps your hips aligned and muscles relaxed. 5. Neglecting hydration. Dehydration's silent impact on muscle function. Muscles, including those in the hips, are nearly 75% water. Even mild dehydration can impair flexibility, increase cramping, and slow down tissue repair. Yet many seniors unintentionally underhydrate, drinking less to avoid nighttime bathroom trips or due to reduced thirst sensitivity. According to the Journal of Gerontology, adults over 65 are significantly more likely to experience muscle cramps due to inadequate hydration, especially in the lower body. Tip: sip water throughout the day rather than chugging large amounts at once. Herbal teas, bone broth, and water-rich fruits like watermelon or cucumber can also contribute to hydration without increasing bladder urgency dramatically. 6. Ignoring mild hip discomfort, a missed warning sign. Lastly, too many seniors dismiss mild hip tightness, thinking it's just part of aging. But what begins as a slight discomfort often marks the early stages of sarcopenia or joint inflammation. Ignoring these signs allows the underlying issue to progress. Weak hips lead to poor posture. Poor posture causes spine misalignment, and misalignment leads to back pain, knee strain, or even falls. Instead, acknowledge any persistent tension or fatigue in the hips. Note when it occurs, during walking, rising, or sleeping, and bring it up with your physician or physical therapist. Early intervention can prevent years of complications. Your daily habits are either building or breaking your foundation. Think of your hips as the hinge that supports everything above and below. Every small habit, how you sit, eat, move, or rest, affects this hinge. Neglect leads to rust, but mindful routines polish it, strengthen it, and preserve its mobility. Next, in Part 4, we'll dive deep into specific foods that support hip strength and flexibility, how they work inside your body, and exactly how to use them safely and effectively. Before we go, have you ever noticed hip tightness after sitting or sleeping? Type yes in the comments if you have. Type no if not. Your insight could help another viewer just like you. We've talked about the silent damage and the nutrients your hips crave. Now, let us shine a light on the foods that can restore and protect your hip muscles. Foods that go beyond nutrition to act like natural medicine. These aren't exotic or expensive. They're often right in your grocery aisle, but it's how you choose, prepare, and time them that makes all the difference. 1. Salmon, the anti-inflammatory powerhouse. Let's begin with one of nature's most complete muscle restorers, salmon. Rich in high-quality protein and omega-3 fatty acids, especially EPA and DHA. This fatty fish targets inflammation in the hip joints and encourages muscle regeneration. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors who ate salmon twice per week showed 19% better hip mobility compared to those who ate lean meats like chicken. The omega-3s do more than reduce swelling. They improve muscle protein synthesis, meaning your body builds and maintains stronger muscles from the food you eat. How to use: grill or bake salmon, avoid deep frying. Aim for 2 4-ounce servings weekly. For those who dislike fish, consider a purified fish oil supplement, but consult your doctor, especially if you're on blood thinners. 2. Greek yogurt, the overnight rebuilder. Muscle repair happens while you sleep, and Greek yogurt is an ideal bedtime food because it contains casein protein, which digests slowly over several hours, feeding your muscles while you rest. What makes Greek yogurt unique is its concentration. Just 6 ounces delivers up to 20 grams of protein, plus calcium and vitamin D for joint and bone support. It's also rich in probiotics that enhance gut health and nutrient absorption, both crucial as the digestive system, slows with age. How to use: eat 1 small bowl of plain Greek yogurt in the evening. Add berries, chia seeds, or a dash of honey. Avoid fruit on the bottom varieties loaded with sugar, which can cause inflammation. 3. Sweet potatoes, the energy-stabilizing ally. Many seniors feel hip fatigue not from injury, but from inconsistent energy. Sweet potatoes offer a steady, complex carbohydrate source that fuels your muscles throughout the day. They're also rich in potassium, essential for proper muscle contraction, and beta-carotene, which reduces oxidative stress in the joints. Unlike white potatoes, sweet potatoes release glucose slowly, preventing blood sugar spikes that drain your energy and contribute to inflammation. How to use: roast or steam sweet potatoes. Avoid marshmallow or brown sugar toppings. Eat half a medium potato at lunch or dinner to support lasting mobility. 4. Pumpkin seeds, the magnesium-rich secret. Few people realize this, but pumpkin seeds are among the highest natural sources of magnesium, a mineral that supports muscle relaxation and nerve function. For seniors suffering from nighttime hip cramps or tension around the pelvis, magnesium is often the missing piece. These tiny seeds are also packed with zinc and antioxidants that reduce inflammation and help repair muscle tissue. How to use: add a tablespoon of unsalted pumpkin seeds to your salad, oatmeal, or evening yogurt. Chew thoroughly. Store them in the fridge to retain freshness. 5. Eggs, the muscle-building morning booster. Eggs are one of the most efficient ways to deliver complete protein to your muscles, especially in the morning when your body is ready to build. Each egg contains all 9 essential amino acids, along with vitamin B12 and choline, which enhance nerve-muscle coordination. For seniors over 65, incorporating eggs at breakfast can significantly improve hip strength over time. How to use: scrambled 2 eggs with spinach or mushrooms for extra fiber and antioxidants. Limit added salt and butter. If cholesterol is a concern, opt for 1 whole egg and 1 to 2 egg whites. 6. Beets, the circulation enhancer. Beets improve nitric oxide production, a compound that widens blood vessels and increases blood flow to the muscles. especially in the legs and hips. Better circulation means faster delivery of nutrients and oxygen to your muscles, which translates into quicker recovery and improved function. One study from Wake Forest University found that beet juice consumption improved walking, speed and endurance in older adults by 12% within just 2 weeks. How to use roast fresh beets or add beet juice, unsweetened, to your morning smoothie. Be cautious if you have kidney issues, as beets are high in oxalates. Important usage notes and interactions. Timing matters. Protein should be evenly distributed throughout the day. Don't save it all for dinner. Aim for 20-30 grams per meal. Hydration is key. Without enough fluids, even the best foods will not support muscle function optimally. Watch for medications. If you're on statins, blood thinners, or diuretics, some nutrients, like vitamin D, potassium, or magnesium, may need monitoring. Always check with your healthcare provider before adding new foods or supplements. Foods to avoid that sabotage hip strength. Just as some foods heal, others harm. Avoid excessive intake of fried foods. They inflame the joints and weaken circulation. Refined sugars. They spike insulin and suppress muscle repair. Processed meats. These are high in sodium and nitrates, which can stiffen blood vessels and increase pain in the lower body. Your grocery bag can become your medicine cabinet. The foods you choose aren't just fuel. They are signals to your body, telling it to either repair and strengthen or weaken and inflame. For seniors hoping to walk longer, stand taller, and move more freely, every bite counts. In Part 5, we'll focus on exercises, daily routines, and physical therapy approaches that are safe, gentle, and remarkably effective at rebuilding hip muscles, even if you haven't exercised in years. Before we wrap up, tell us in the comments, which of these foods do you already eat? And which are you curious to try? Your experience could help others in this community make stronger choices. You've now seen how food can protect and rebuild your hip muscles. But there's another pillar just as vital: movement. Not just any movement, but targeted, safe, and restorative activity that strengthens your hips without straining your joints. For many seniors, the idea of exercise feels intimidating. Perhaps it's been years since you followed a regular routine. Maybe a previous injury or chronic pain has made you hesitant. But here's the good news: you don't need intense workouts to reclaim your strength. In fact, the most powerful movements for hip health are often slow, deliberate, and surprisingly simple. Let's explore the best approaches to rebuild hip strength, improve balance, and protect your independence, step by step. 1. The power of gentle resistance, elastic bands, and body weight. You don't need a gym or machines. Resistance bands are one of the most effective tools for hip strengthening. These stretchy, lightweight bands activate the gluteus medius and hip flexors, muscles essential for side-to-side stability and upright posture. Try this simple move: seated hip abduction. Sit in a sturdy chair. Loop a resistance band just above your knees. Keep feet flat, knees bent at 90 degrees. Push your knees outward against the band. Hold for 3 seconds, then release. Do 10-12 reps twice daily. Over time, this improves the muscles that prevent falls and stabilize your hips when walking or climbing stairs. 2. Chair-assisted standing exercises, reclaiming functional strength. One of the most telling signs of hip weakness is difficulty rising from a chair. Practicing that very movement safely can reverse it. Chair squats. Stand in front of a chair, feet shoulder-width apart. Slowly lower yourself to sit, tapping the seat lightly. Then rise again using your leg muscles, not your hands. Start with 5 reps per day, working toward 15. If balance is a concern, hold the back of the chair for support. 3. Step-ups and heel raises, rebuilding dynamic hip stability. Stepping up engages the full chain of hip and thigh muscles. Use a low, stable step, 4 to 6 inches high, or a staircase. Step up with one foot. Bring the other foot to join. Step down slowly. Alternate legs, aiming for 8 to 10 repetitions. Pair this with heel raises to improve lower leg support. Hold the back of a chair. Rise onto your toes. Hold for 2 seconds, then lower slowly. These 2 movements improve both muscle, endurance, and circulatory flow in the hips and legs. 4. Flexibility. First, gentle stretches for hip mobility. Tight hip muscles can mimic weakness. Daily stretching keeps your joints fluid and your muscles responsive. Lying hip stretch, figure 4. Lie on your back, knees bent. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Gently pull your left thigh toward your chest. Hold for 30 seconds, switch sides. This stretch targets the piriformis and hip rotators, relieving tension that builds up from sitting or improper posture. Standing hip flexor stretch. Stand beside a chair. Step your right leg back, bending your front knee slightly. Tuck your pelvis forward to feel a stretch in your right hip. Hold for 30 seconds. Repeat on the other side. Both the hidden exercise. Sleep. Yes, you read that right. Sleep is a form of recovery exercise. Muscle growth happens not just during movement, but in rest. Adults over 60 often struggle with poor sleep quality, especially those with hip pain. This reduces growth hormone production and slows tissue repair. Optimize your sleep posture. Avoid curling tightly. Use a pillow between your knees when side sleeping to keep hips aligned. Sleep on your back with a small pillow under the knees to reduce pressure on the lower spine and pelvis. Support deeper sleep with a fixed bedtime and wake time. Limiting caffeine after noon. Magnesium-rich foods in the evening like pumpkin seeds or Greek yogurt. 6. Physical therapy and guided strength training. When and why to seek help. If hip weakness is already affecting your daily function, a licensed physical therapist can design a program tailored to your body. According to the American Physical Therapy Association, seniors who engage in customized therapy recover twice as fast from mobility loss compared to those using generic online videos or no program at all. Look for therapists with experience in geriatric care. They can assess your gait, balance, and hip alignment, often identifying issues before pain begins. Ask your Medicare provider. Many plans offer partial or full coverage for therapy. If you've had recent pain, a fall, or changes in mobility. 7. Don't forget walking, but walk with purpose. Walking remains one of the best low-impact exercises for hip strength. But how you walk matters as much as how long you walk. Keep shoulders relaxed, eyes forward. Engage your glutes as you push off. Avoid shuffling or short steps. Try 10-15-minute walks twice daily, even indoor laps around your home count. Use a cane if recommended by your therapist, but work toward walking unassisted if safely possible. Your body responds to what you ask of it. Whether you are 60, 70, or 85, your hip muscles can grow stronger. They will respond if you give them a reason to, not through harsh training, but through consistency, gentle activation, and loving attention. In Part 6, we'll pull everything together into a 7-day practical plan to strengthen your hips, protect your independence, and renew your confidence with encouragement to keep going strong. Before we close, I want to ask you, which of these exercises or habits are you already doing? Which one will you try this week? Leave your comment below. Let's keep this a space of support and shared progress. You've made it this far, and that alone speaks volumes. You care about your body, your independence, and your ability to move freely, today, tomorrow, and for many years to come. The truth is, hip weakness doesn't have to be your future. With the right awareness, nutrition, and movement, your body can adapt, repair, and thrive, even after 60, 70, or 80. Let's take a moment to revisit what we've uncovered. In Part 1, we exposed the silent danger affecting hip muscles in millions of seniors, a specific food or pattern that quietly robs your strength. In Part 2, we explored 5 critical nutrients like magnesium, omega-3s, and protein that directly impact muscle function. In Part 3, we highlighted common daily habits like long sitting or skipping, breakfast that slowly degrade hip strength. In Part 4, we revealed superfoods like salmon, sweet potatoes, and Greek yogurt that actively rebuild hip muscle and reduce joint pain. In Part 5, we introduced safe, powerful exercises and sleep habits that reverse decline and renew confidence in every step. So where do we go from here? A 7-day action plan for stronger hips and better mobility. This plan doesn't require a gym, a diet overhaul, or hours of time. It just takes commitment and a willingness to start. Day 1, awareness and alignment. Reflect on your current habits. How long do you sit each day? What does your breakfast look like? Add a pillow between your knees tonight if you're a side sleeper. Drink 6 to 8 glasses of water throughout the day. Day 2, fuel for strength. Begin your morning with a protein-rich meal, scrambled eggs and avocado toast. Include a magnesium-rich snack like pumpkin seeds or a banana. Take a 10-minute walk after lunch. Day 3, movement activation. Perform chair squats and heel raises, 5-10 reps. Do the figure 4 stretch before bed. Replace processed snacks with Greek yogurt and berries. Day 4, circulation and flexibility. Start your day with a cup of beet juice or roast beets with dinner. Add in step-ups on a low stair or platform. Sleep on your back with knees slightly elevated. Day 5, repetition and reinforcement. Repeat hip abduction exercises using a resistance band. Enjoy a salmon-based meal for lunch or dinner. Sit less. Stand every 45 minutes and walk for 2 to 3 minutes. Day 6, nourishment and rest. Eat sweet potatoes and spinach today. Limit caffeine after noon to promote better sleep. Take a warm bath before bed to ease hip tension. Day 7, evaluation and connection. Reflect on how your body feels. Do your hips feel looser? Is standing easier? Leave a comment below. What change made the biggest difference for you this week? Share this video or post with a friend or loved one who might benefit from stronger hips and greater mobility. Your next chapter is in your hands. You don't need to surrender your independence or accept stiffness and imbalance as your destiny. Your hips are more than joints. They are your foundation for movement, connection, joy, and confidence. Whether it's dancing at a wedding, climbing the front steps without pain, or simply rising from bed without hesitation, these moments matter. Now I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever had a fall related to hip weakness? Which nutrient or habit are you most excited to implement? What part of this content resonated the most with your experience? Type your answers below. And if this content helped you, click follow, leave a comment, and hit like. Because this community is built on support and shared wisdom. Stay strong, stay steady. And remember, the most powerful change often starts with the smallest step.